Am I the asshole for throwing my sister's confession of regretting her kids in her face? I, 32 female, was close to my sister, 34 female, most of my life. But our adult relationship has been tough. My sister has 5 kids with her husband. The youngest was born in February of last year. I have been trying to conceive with my husband for 8 years now. I knew I had fertility issues prior, but it has been heartbreaking trying to have a baby and being unsuccessful. We have been open with our families about our struggles and most people are really kind and supportive, but my sister has been. I don't know how to describe it. Ever since her first pregnancy she has told me about how she didn't want to be a mom, how she was considering abortion, and every time I would support her. And then she would have her babies and she would admit regretting not aborting them. She would say her husband wanted the kids and she knew it would ruin their marriage, so she had them and would fake it. She never stopped confiding in me. Even when I asked her to. I told her it was a hard topic for me to be involved in while I was struggling. She would act like I never said anything. Then a few weeks ago my parents told me they had saved some money for my husband and I to help us have a baby. I thanked them. They said they hoped it could bring us the luck we needed. My sister was there and maybe she was jealous or something because she started joking that my husband and I just needed to have sex and how easy it is to have a baby, and then she joked that I must not be a real woman if I can't get pregnant. My parents were furious and told her it was a nasty thing to say and well, they scolded her. But then she said I would be a shitty mom and that's why the universe wouldn't give me a baby and I might have lost it a bit, and I told her well at least I wouldn't regret having my kids after they were born and wouldn't be thinking I should have had an abortion when they're already living, breathing babies. She was furious. My parents were shocked. She called me an asshole and told me she confided in me in confidence and I feel guilty because she did. And because I was the only person who ever knew how she felt and I lashed out in the heat of anger. Am I the asshole? So this came up a lot and I can't possibly respond to everyone, though I will say I appreciate the honesty, so I'll add it here. My sister had the kids because she married a man who wanted a big family, and she wanted him, and kids were a deal breaker for him. So she just had them so she could keep him. She lied and said she wanted them and didn't want to lose her husband and has resented it every single day since. For the last 8 years I have heard time after time that she wishes she had aborted them and not had kids, that she did it for him, but she doesn't love them. I suggested she seek help before, therapy, or something, but she is willing to have as many kids as he wants and just plans to continue resenting them. I thought this would be an ESH, but honestly not the asshole. Your sister was being vile. You're not a real woman because you can't get pregnant, was horrid enough, but you can't get pregnant because the universe knows you'd be a terrible mom. Atrocious. Your sister sounds all around like a bad person. I can assure you those kids will notice that they aren't wanted. I wouldn't honestly blame her if she had one, regretted it and stopped, but she had 5 kids, each time knowing she didn't want them. That's cruel. You didn't go out of your way to out her to your parents about it, and had asked her before to stop confiding to you about this. It wasn't like what you said was even a low blow. It's apparently something she says all the time. Not the asshole. Classic case of don't dish it out if you can't take it. It was a shitty thing to say, but she knew she was saying the most cruel thing she could say in the moment. Not the asshole. She's clearly been not respecting you over the years and now she's mad you finally said something to her. Not the asshole. She was definitely jealous that your parents were giving you money for whatever reason and she had no right to say those things, even as a joke. Which, let's be honest, probably had a little bit of truth to it. She was clearly only thinking about herself when she confided in you about saying those things, because anyone with common sense wouldn't have said those things to a woman who is trying to get pregnant. Especially if that woman is her sister. Not the asshole. NTA. Find someone else to confide in. Our relationship has run its course. This is tough. I'm going to scrape off the top coat and boil it down to sibling rivalry. If you have a baby, what will make your sister special? Right now, she is the baby mom in the family. Controls access to grandbabies and special holiday traditions. Her attacks on you are basically her bragging about how awesome she was to give babies to the family. I hope you are successful and have your baby. But, I caution you to keep a close eye on the relationship between your baby and her auntie. I predict some bullying disguised as joking as she tries to keep her queen bee status. She doesn't get to start the game and not let you play by its rules. NTA. What are you supposed to stand there and take all that nasty shit? Fuck that. She deserved what she got. Why the hell did she have 5 kids if she didn't want them? Couldn't she take because and downsize the number of unwanted kids? I hope she's already saving for their therapy. Not the asshole. I'm not understanding all the ESHs here. 1. Your sister has been confiding in you about how she wishes she had aborted her kids and her lack of desire for being a parent for years. Even after you've explicitly asked her not to because it hurts you to, deliberately antagonized you unprovoked because she was what? Jealous of your parents' support. And continued to do so even after she was told to stop. Yeah, what you said was really hurtful and honestly wasn't okay, but she asked for it, frankly. You don't repeatedly stomp all over somebody's boundaries without some kind of consequence. To me, those are words that end relationships, even with family. Such purposefully cruel words that no decent person would consider uttering. I'm sorry, I'd be done and I would never trust her again. NTA. She started it and was extremely mean to you. If anything, maybe this should open her eyes. Not the asshole. Your sister enticed you on purpose, and she clearly doesn't respect you, and that's why you have no obligation to be her confidant. Not the asshole. So she got jealous that your parents saved some money help your fertility problem, and she started insulting you and saying it was easy to get pregnant and you aren't a real woman since you can't get pregnant. What a horrid and nasty thing to say. Your parents rightly scolded her. Then sis doubles down with saying you'd be a shitty mom and that's why you can't get pregnant. You lost it and I don't blame you a bit. You threw back in her face what she's told you about regrets at not aborting her kids. If you dish it out, you had better be able to take it. You at least were telling the truth. She was just making things up out of jealousy. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with her making comments like that. Not the asshole. It was a pretty horrible thing to throw back at her, but I think it's understandable after years of having her disrespect your boundaries and being so cruel you just snapped and gave it back to her. I'm sure I'll get hate, but yes, your sister was and is horrid. Yes, I don't blame you one bit for what you said. But this subreddit isn't called, Am I Right? Someone told you something in confidence because they trusted you implicitly. Not only did you break that trust, you weaponized her secret to hurt her the deepest way you could, and to lower her standing in front of her parents, who were already horrified at her words. I don't blame you. I'm sending you hugs and white light and good juju, and I hope you get the baby you want. But weaponizing someone's trust to hurt them is sasshole behavior. Not the asshole. I'd given her a pass if she confessed after having 5 and was feeling overwhelmed, but to keep complaining after the first and continue after each ludicrous. Sister's comments about how easy it is to have a baby. Is not a real woman and the universe not giving her a baby because she'd be a shitty mom is foul, nasty and horrid. It's great this happened in front of OP's parents and hopefully the husband will hear what happened as well. NTA. Sister is an emotional vampire. Maybe this is why she is having so many kids. She likes the attention and drama. It's time for you to take a step back from the relationship. The things sister said are supremely nasty. No one could blame you for lashing out. Justified asshole. Sure, you just revealed something kinda taboo and deeply personal about her. But she had it coming. Since there's not a justified asshole tag, not the asshole. Not the asshole, you confided in her about your struggles too, and she's being insensitive about something she knows you have no control over. Anything you said about her, whether said in privacy or not, are things she has control over. Nobody forced her to have any more children. Not the asshole. I don't even want children, and God. That's heartbreaking. I'm so sorry that she made those jokes. She sounds exhausting to be around, and I really hope that you're able to create the family that you want. I was so ready to go into this with an E1S type comment. But your sister was straight up horrible to you. Those comments made me see red, and I don't even want children. I'm so sorry, Op. You might need to begin to lessen your contact with her, as what you've presented us with doesn't seem like a healthy relationship with her. She's angry and resentful of her children and is not willing to respect your boundaries as far as communication goes, and that's not fair. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. What she said was vile. She deserved this. Not the asshole. She is evil. To have kids when you don't want them is evil. Kids suffer from it and they feel their mother wishes they were dead. Your sister ridiculed you. your fertility issues, your ability to be a good mother, and even your womanhood, and got what she deserved. She literally said some of the nastiest things to you. I understand feeling bad about divulging things said to you in private conversation, but, regardless, she was, and has been, being a complete asshole to you. Not the asshole. Your sister is disgusting. Don't apologize or try to mend things with her. You don't deserve that kind of ugliness. Not the asshole. What your sister said was absolutely horrific and inexcusable, but... And then she would have her babies and she would admit regretting not aborting them. She would say her husband wanted the kids and she knew it would ruin their marriage, so she had them and would fake it. She may be in an abusive, unhealthy marriage if she is being forced to have kids she doesn't want. Not the asshole. Your sister is a horrible person and I don't see why you are still agreeing with her BS. She's a horrible mother who despises her children and only wants them to please her husband. Cut all ties with her and maybe tell her husband about it. He deserves to know what type of person he's married to. Info. Is your sister the victim of abuse? Maybe I'll get downvoted, but what your sister said and did is vile. Really, really hurtful. What you said back is vile. Really, really hurtful. Your sister needs help. And you were the only person she trusted with the truth. She's going through a hard thing, made harder because she's not supposed to feel the way she does. It's unnatural and terrible. Your problem is valid and real. I'm so sorry for your struggle. The biggest difference, though, is that your struggle is socially acceptable. Every woman should want kids. Your sister's struggle is not widely socially acceptable, and that's probably a big reason behind her contradictory and nasty behavior. She still shouldn't have taken it out on you. So, while she was terrible and inexcusable, so were you. I really wanted to say but you are absolutely not the asshole in this situation. What your sister said to you is abhorrent and my heart honestly hurts for you. I'm so sorry you've struggled so much with infertility and that your sister has been so awful. If you decided to go NC or VLC, I wouldn't blame you at all. Keep your head up. You are not less of woman because you have fertility issues. Your sister is heartless. Not the asshole. She was horrible to you. Honestly, she seems to use you to talk about the children because she knows you struggle having any. Like she wants to make you suffer more and more when it comes to this topic. I think you should cut all contact with your sister because of what she said, and because she obviously doesn't respect your boundaries. But I think her saying how she regrets her kids to you is linked to the fact it's a sensible topic to you, because of your struggle. And that makes it so much worse. Not the asshole sounds like she got what she deserved. She's vile. Not the asshole. I think it's time to put your sister in a long, long time out. Have your parents said anything else? They seem to be reasonable. I was ready to say everyone sucks here, but your sister crossed many lines and deserves to hear what she said thrown back at her. In fact, I would argue that you will be a better mother than her. One of you repeatedly gets pregnant and doesn't want to keep the kid, and I'm sure her kids pick up on being unwanted, and the other one has been trying and fighting to have a baby for years. I think when you succeed, your child will be so loved and appreciated because you fought her to exist. Don't feel bad, and keep the faith. My neighbor and her husband have been trying for 10 years and just gave birth to twin boys. Not the asshole. Yeah, you lashed out, but only because she kept pushing your buttons. Like one person said in here, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Your sister is the asshole for making those horrible comments. Not the asshole. Your sister honestly sounds like a horrible person. I feel very sorry for her kids, because if she thinks they don't feel her resentment in some way, she's lost her mind. She needs some therapy, stat. Also, I really hope you and your husband get your baby. I'm not going to vote on this. You both should consider therapy. There is clearly quite a bit at play here. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. What she said was really horrible and uncalled for. And I'm sorry for the trouble you've been having. I do wonder though about your sister's husband, though she has 5 kids because he wanted them and each time she considered abortion and then regretted not terminating. It sounds to me like it's possible he is abusive and manipulative. I don't see how you go through 5 pregnancies you do not want if there isn't some external pressure and fear playing a part. She deserved it. Not the asshole. Then she joked that I must not be a real woman if I can't get pregnant. This would be it for me. I'd announce right then and there that she was no longer my sister, and cut her the fuck right out. You told her to stop confiding in you. And she didn't. She has a problem with boundaries to say the least. You don't owe her an apology, nor are you anything close to an awe. Your sister definitely is, and that's putting it mildly. She sucks for saying you're not a real woman. You for throwing what is very likely severe PPD in her face. PPD can come up any time within 5 years of each child. I hope you both get the help you need to deal with your grief, because, yes, she's grieving too in a different way. PPD is killer. Edit. I somehow missed the number of kids she has on my first read. My judgment still stands, but holy shit, 5 kids worth of it with no treatment? I'm not gonna lie up. It's kind of miraculous she hasn't lost her life to depression. PPD is the #1 cause of maternal death after delivery. I've had it twice and it is only through intensive therapy and medication support that I'm alive and able to take care of my kids. Not the asshole, that was a really cruel thing to say. If you read this op, how well do you know your brother-in-law? I could be biased, very bad religious parents, but it looks really obvious to me that she's being abused. That "not a real woman" thing sounds like a quote from her husband. It sounds to me like she's been reaching out to you for help for years, because she didn't want to become, or stay, a baby factory. Please, I know she hurt you, and that's her fault, but make sure she's okay. Not the asshole, she was making disgusting comments about your ability to have children and how you someone deserved it. Not to mention her talking a load of shit that she regretted having to kids to you of all people. She had this coming, and should learn when to keep her trap shut, and her opinions to herself. Not the asshole. You did break her ability to confide in you, but she didn't deserve to have you as a support system at all. Not to mention you asked her to stop. I'm glad your parents seem very much interested in your journey and I hope all goes well. Not the asshole. She picked the most cruel and painful thing she knew of to hurt you. That was a stab at your soul. F her and keep rubbing in her face how awful of a person and shitmom she is. Tell her her kids would be better off with you instead of her. That God gave her you as an example of how not to be a mother. Not the asshole, but your sister needs medical help. She is clearly suffering from a mental condition like postnatal depression or just depression, hence why she's lashing out at you. You are definitely not an asshole, but I do feel that you perhaps should have told your sister to seek medical help when she first started this behavior. I truly hope you are able to finally have a baby. Fertility isn't easy for everyone. Your sister is a major a-hole for so much. But you don't get to reveal secrets of that magnitude and not escape some blame. Your sister sounds like a real peach. Her marriage must be a gong show, and what kind of environment are those kids growing up in? Wow. Your sister was in a hole and said some nasty things, and you would be within your rights to be insulted and push back. But to reveal what she said to you in confidence to the whole family makes you an ass as well. Definitely not the asshole. A little assholish for breaking the confidence, but given the actually vile she was spewing, this is one of the few situations where it was acceptable to say what you did.